Hey everybody, it's Gabriel. I've got another great subject for you tonight. I know it's going to help a ton. And if you looked at the title is how do you handle it when somebody goes elsewhere? All right, this is a big one, and aren't they all big? I keep saying that, right? But as you're building your home-based business, you're going to run into all kinds of challenges, right? You're going to run into the personal development side of it. You're going to deal with the drama side of it. You're going to get drama from your company. You're going to get drama from your team. You're going to get drama from leadership, your organization. But it's because you're dealing with humanity. So it's not that it's anything special. It's just the noise of life when you're dealing with people, right? And it's just the nature of the way it is. They say if you want things clean and tidy and you want things organized, then you go to a morgue. But if you want things full of life, where there's lots of babies and lots of excitement, there's going to be some dirty diapers. So the dirtiness comes with life. But if you want everything super organized and super sterile, then you're going to, of course, need to visit a morgue, because that's about the only place you're going to see that level of control and silence. Right. But okay, so what do you do when people leave? Now, let me explain what I mean by that. So people join you in a home-based business. They come in, you don't know what level they're going to engage in, right? Nobody knows. People, you join and your faith level may rise, correct? But after a while, you either grab a hold of it and you take it somewhere, you go neutral, you go backwards, you do it here and there. Again, that's where the term independent consultant comes from, all right? Let me make that giant, huge in the sky letters, okay? Literally neon lights, billboard on the highway, independent consultant. What does that mean? People can join and do what they want. You're not in charge of them. Their success is not determined on how much you're going to help them. And your success, well, what did I say that? Your success is not determined how much you help them, and their success is not determined on how much they get help from you. It's system dependent in a home-based business. Now, obviously, if you have synergy and there's team dynamics and you have great leadership and a great organization and there's one-mindedness, fantastic. Then things can, of course, become that much better. But at the end of the day, you're all independent consultants, and everybody works for themselves and can come and go as they want to. Get that in your heads. People will come and people will go. You cannot control what they're going to do long term. If they join you and do something fantastic, of course you're going to benefit. Even if they come in and do a little bit, you're going to benefit. But if they come in and go somewhere else, well, think about every other company in the world, right? People, they hire, fire, hire, fire, hire, fire, hire, fire, hire, fire. Some stick and grow to the top. Most come and go every few years. And it's no different in a home-based business, a direct sales business, if you're hiring people or whatever. But usually within these videos, I'm talking about those people in a home-based business where you're building organizations and you're building huge customer bases through those organizations. Because remember, points of distribution equal more product sales by default. The more Starbucks you have, the more coffee you sell. The more dealerships you have, the more vehicles you sell. The more Apple stores, or the more convenient it is to get into an Apple store or an Android store, the more convenient it is for people to buy. So obviously, the objective is points of distribution, and everything works exponentially the more points of distribution you have, right? That's just the reality of it. But every business model works like that. The sensitive part in all of this is when people come, you build friendship, and then for whatever reason they go. Now, it's not that them leaving is the problem. You know what? You should say, bless you, bust a bottle of champagne on their bumpers and say, you know what? I'm so excited for you. You think you found something better. You see it in churches, you see it everywhere, right? People come, they're super involved in the church, and then for whatever reason they go elsewhere, and then most of the time it creates huge rifts, rather than, hey, you know what, let's stay friends. You're going over there to church now, but you know what, let's stay friends. But all too often there's drama, there's issues. And in a home-based business, the problems lie in when somebody's in and they're weaved into the organization, and for whatever reason they go somewhere else. Now, there's a million reasons why people do it. Some are legitimate reasons. Most are not, or at least they think it's legitimate. Most of the time it's some rift, some problem. They have a problem with you, they have a problem with the company, they're not growing fast enough, jealousy kicks in, so they're angry at the upline or the downline or the teams, the leadership. They're looking for people to blame, and for whatever reason, their lack of results and watching success with other people creates a tremendous amount of jealousy. And that gets a deep root of bitterness if people are not careful, right? And you see it in everything. You see it in families, you see it in companies, you see it in church, you see it in home-based businesses, okay? It's no different. That's just the reality of it. But the problem is when somebody leaves and they don't leave well. Does that make sense? They don't leave well, and then they immediately start going after everybody. They start to demonize the company. They demonize you as leaders. They demonize the teams. They have to cover their bases, especially if they're not doing it with integrity. But they go after everybody. And many times they leave a tremendous amount of carnage in their wake. A lot of hurt people, a lot of messed up teams, but you see it in everything, right? I was listening to a minister the other day, and he was talking about he had two big-time leaders that were a part of their, and it's a global ministry, they're doing extraordinary in the world. And two of them were coming up, and he was talking to them in a meeting, and he said, you I know very well, and I've known for a long time, and I can trust you with leadership, and I can trust you with things. You I don't know so well, so I can't give you the position I want to, because I don't know you enough or trust you enough. What's wrong with that? Well, it caused such a root of bitterness, the guy came in and just basically tried to destroy the ministry, tried to destroy everything. Went to the newspapers, created all kinds of lies. And so there's where the hurt is. Somebody wants to go to another company, fantastic. You know what? If the opportunity is better for your family, do it. People want to go to another church, fantastic. People want to join another direct sales company, home-based business, whatever, fantastic. The problem is the carnage. The problem is the lack of integrity. The problem is the destruction. The problem is the scheming in the background. There's a great verse that says, wherever there is strife, every other evil work is in the midst. Strife is a birthing ground for bad behavior. We'll use the word evil because that's the term, but it just gets ugly. And then you find out later this one said this one, and this one was afraid to say this, and then this one said this. And then what happens is you just see many times these people will go from company to company, they'll go from church to church, they'll go from business to business. Remember, we're talking about home-based businesses primarily, but it works in every arena, and they leave a trail of tears and carnage everywhere they go. And the more vocal they get about how they justify their reasons for leaving, usually the more advanced the problems are that you find out about later. And folks, I have been in church, I've been in business, and I've been in home-based businesses for a long time. I see it all the time. This stuff happens so often that you just have to kind of go, just let it kind of bounce off of you. Wish them well. The key is keep your heart right. You can't control the way people are going to operate. Unfortunately, in this world, where it's all too fashionable for the more heinous something is, the more it's deified and lifted up and exalted,